Welcome back to the Dragon's Tongue, where people want to tear off your head and shit down your neck for driving the speed limit, apparently. So, it's spring now. It's getting to be spring. Hallelujah. And now is the time for all of us people with cool cars. There we go. That's a little bit better. With cool cars to be getting our cars ready to go out and actually do stuff, drive around, do some cruising. And boy, is it tough out there. But because I don't know where y'all live. Y'all live in town, y'all live in but cars, people driving is insane. And I think that there is there's some uh there's some shitty people out there, both on the slow driver and the fast driver side. But I'm just gonna kind of who is the worst? Who is the actual problem? It's fast drivers. It's fast drivers. It really is. But we'll get to that. Okay, we'll get to that. First off, I'd like to say this is me. That is my car. And she's a fucking beauty. This is Polly, and she's a '63 Hillman Minx. They don't make obviously Hillmans anymore. If you've never heard of it, it's because it's English. I eat my tea and crumpets in this car. This is actually me at work. This is my first time I ever got to drive her to work, and I just finished scrubbing up the air filter last night. Oh my gosh, does it look beautiful? It looks fucking great. Oh my god. And boy, am I ready to take her out this summer. I'm going to make it to the car show that we have in town this time, because I've kept missing it the past couple times. But the problem with having cars like these is that they don't go very fast. So my car, 63, so she only like 655 is what I try and push it, but even that's pushing it. It's a very she's not meant to go 60. And that's okay, but people out on my road, they are insane. So when I was a kid, there wasn't a lot of people out where I lived. It has exploded, I feel like, since 2020, when the virus came around. Ooh. No, but like, I live in Montana, by the way. So I live in one of the smaller towns in Montana. That's where I live, and now it has become an actual cityscape down here, which, not like a real city. I'm being dramatic, obviously. I know that people that come from actual cities come here and they're like, it's so nice. It's a small town. It's like it used to be smaller. Go away. No, but it has grown exponentially. Okay, I'm just being a dick now, but making fun of an old man. But it's grown out here, and it has grown on my highway. So I live on a mountain, because of course I do, because I'm a dragon. Duh. Where else would a dragon live? But because I live so far out of town, I live like 40 miles out of town, and the highway that I have to navigate is crazy. Like, it's 60. Majority at 60. Like 75, not 75, but like 70 in good conditions, and then 65 at night. Mostly because of deer and stuff, because them motherfuckers will get you, and they're terrible. They're terrible out here. So 60's okay. Like, 60's a decent speed. You know what most people drive out on that road? They drive like 80. They go like like 10 20 miles over. It's actually crazy. And for those people that go 80, there's somebody going 90. So I'll get to that, and I just want to say that I'm trying to be impartial here, because I understand that you can argue that you know, I'm a little biased because I have a smaller car. This is not my only car, by the way. I have 4 cars because I'm a bit of a car person. Okay, you see these cars back here? Oh shit. Look at this. This motherfucker is a Bugatti. It's dusty as hell because I haven't dusted it, but look at that thing. Oh yeah. Look at that. Look underneath of it. Pog! And the fucking, oh, look at that. Engine opens up. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I just wanted to show off my Bugatti, actually. But I'm a car person. I like cars. I like I like working on vehicles. Like, I'm not like for fun, but I like getting my vehicles. Like I said last night, I didn't even have to do this because the air filter works just fine, but it was covered in paint, old paint from a long time ago, and now it's like looks great. It looks brand spanking new. Like, I didn't have to do that, but I like doing that because when I open up my hood, I like to see what's underneath. That sounded oddly sexual for some reason. Yeah. So but to me, I'm like, I have a bit of a bias. I do have a bit of a bias because I have an older car. And if you have an older car, you have to accept that you can only go a certain mile an hour. But I feel like that's not even part of the conversation here because, and the reason why I say that is because my mom has a 2016 Jeep. And she goes the speed limit and a little over sometimes. And they fly by her like she's standing still. So I would love to say that the big problem with like road rage is slow drivers. Because that's what everyone says, right? The fast drivers say it's the slow drivers. The slow drivers say it's the fast drivers. What's the middle? There is no middle. Okay, well, there's kind of a middle. There's always nuance, right? There always is. But to me, how can you actually justify going so fast, I guess, is my my qualm with driving. And it's one of the reasons why I really don't like leaving my mountain, because driving is crazy. So I have 4 cars. I have a 49 Buick Roadmaster, which she's not up and running. I bought her. She was my first classic car I ever bought. God, she's beautiful. God, oh my God, coming. Anyway, but she's not even close to driving at all. Like, I bought her from some neighbors, and she was running when they parked her, which is a good sign. But like, her fender's busted up. Like, the battery is just fucked. It's a straight 8. It's crazy. So she's not even close. But then I have my 63 Hillman, my 81 Toyota, which I'll show you a picture of that guy right here because I have a picture of him too. Just to give you an idea of where is it? Where'd it go? And I have my 81 Toyota here that I also got from somebody who worked with, just that truck right there. And then I have my 90. Oh. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I think my goose bit my dog. I let my goose out on Saturday so he can wander around, but he goes too close to Bjorn's thing, and Bjorn likes to mess with him, and it was just a fucking mess. But he just bit him, like, pinched him, because, goose don't have like teeth or anything. They have serrated beaks. But anyways, I was talking. So I have my Ford here, which is a 95. This is the newest vehicle that I own. But this can push 70. Like, my truck, my Ford can push 70. I usually only drive 60 in it because that's my comfort speed. I'm like, I don't need to drive any faster, really. And I will retcon, I will take back something that I did say in the beginning. My speed limit out here is not 70. It's 60. It's 65 at night. So it is just 60. It's just 60. And with my Toyota, this guy, I like to go 55. With my Ford, I like to go 60. With my Hillman, I can really only go 50 to 55. So I'm going least ways 5 miles under the speed limit, and people just fucking fly by me. And to me, that's fine. That I have no problem with people passing. In fact, because I understand that I'm driving vehicles that do go slower, even in my Ford where I go slow, I drive slow. I have no. To me, I have one of the bigger things about driving that I do want to discuss is that I don't. I driving is a privilege, not a right, okay? To be able to drive something that is arguably a weapon on the road so fast, to me, just does not. It makes you want to go slower. It makes you want to take your time. You know, why do you got to get to town? Why do you got to go so fast? Because there is no price for like human life, right? There's no price. You can't put a price tag on that. And to me, I'm just, a lot of what I like to, I guess, impress is taking life as it is. So smell the roses. Fucking go outside and see how amazing things are, you know? Like the life is not on the internet, unfortunately. Like life, like me talking to you right now, or like watching videos about other things, other hobbies. That's all good. Like again, I'm on here. I make videos on the internet. I'm not a big person who's just like the internet's all bad. The internet's all no, but at the end of the day, you are still doing it through a screen. When you're watching someone do a hobby, when you're watching somebody doing commentary on a movie that you've never seen, it's like you've never seen that movie. That person has. Shut the fuck up. But it makes you want to, like, I like to go slower. Not that I like to go slower, but my speed is 60 because I don't feel comfortable going over 70. Because it's dangerous. I'm just going to say that. It's dangerous. And the thing about my vehicles is that below my Ford, my other vehicles will tell you if you're going too fast. I think that's one thing about newer vehicles that really scares me, is that a lot of people don't know how fast they're even going because it doesn't show. When you have one of these nice new cars, they've made it so tuned out to everything. Like, you're driving down the road, no road noise. Like with my vehicles, you have road noise. Even with my Toyota, it's like if you're going like too fast, she starts to shake. It's fucking, it hits the wind, and it's like, this is not cool. You know, the faster you go, the more wind noise you get in the cab. You know, you understand that you're going fast. It's not a thing of like most of these other people with these newer cars just zooming down the road. And I have no problem with newer cars. I think newer cars are great. I'd like to have an actual newer car, like something early 20-teens though. Like my mom's got like something 2016 to like 2010 to 2016, or maybe even below that. Mostly because of, you know, the electronics in vehicles. I don't necessarily trust that, because we've had problems before. I've heard problems people have. We don't have terrible winters up here in Montana, but we do have winters, and it's just best to have, like, I just like to be able to work on my cars, for one. Like, the electronics in newer vehicles, it's no wonder that mechanics cost a lot, because the work that they have to do, you have to be a rocket scientist now. So it's kind of one of those things where I'm like, I like working on my cars, so I like older cars, but will I get a newer car? For sure. I will definitely get a newer car at some point when I can afford one. Probably something like an FJ. Like a 2008 FJ. Hell yeah. Yeah, I like FJs. I like Toyotas. I like Toyotas and Buicks. Buicks and Toyotas are... I got my Hillman on a whim. She was on the side of the highway, and I'm like, I want that fucking car. She was like my Christine, where I'm like, I have to have this fucking car. I had the money, and I was just like, and I did get, funny enough, I had such a similar kind of experience, because my mom was there too, and she's like, I don't know, I mean, it's a nice car, but do you really want this? I mean, it was $5,400. So it was $5,400. And I was like, but the old guy was like, yeah, she'll run. Yeah, he's that same like old stereotypical car guy. And it's so funny because I watch Christine and I'm like, that was me. That was me. Um, with that car and that same old man that was selling it to me. He was just like, yeah, take the keys here, take it. But anyways, I like my old cars. I like my old vehicles, and I will definitely get a newer vehicle, but I don't think that's going to make me drive over the speed limit anymore. Even when I drive like my dad's vehicle or my mom's vehicle, I try not to go over 60 because I feel very uncomfortable going over 60. Like, you go over 60 and you need so much space between you and the driver, right? In your driver's manual, it tells you like the amount of speed you're going is how many like cars backed up you should be away from them to be able to stop safely. So how it takes it's got to be like 5 to 7 cars if you're going 70. Like, it's just insane to me that people can go so fast so casually, I guess is the thing. On a straight and narrow, like, if you're taking a trip and you're, like, going through a plains and it's a long highway, I understand that. Even if you're on the overpass, which our overpass over here is even still just 60. And people go fucking flying down that goddamn highway. And it's like, well, at least with that, I have a slow lane that I travel in with my cars. I'm like, just go around me, buddy. Just go around. Go do your own thing. I'm completely fine with people passing. Like I said, I'm not gonna say like, oh, people are passing all the time. I don't know what that was, but I have no problem with people passing. In any of my vehicles, whenever somebody's behind me and it seems like they're trying to figure out, like they're waiting for a passing lane to come up, passing zone, I get all the way over as far as I can. I get far as I can to the other side, not to the other side, but to the shoulder of the road, right? So that people can pass me safely. I have no problem with people passing me. Just do it safely, and that's the problem, is that people don't. They don't do it safely. So I have some people that are really good who are just like, they wait for an open spot, they don't rush it, they go out, drive past me, put on their blinker, go to the side, they go far out before they get over, because where I live, a lot of dust and rocks get put into the middle lane. I feel like that's common wherever you live, but for us it's really bad. Like, if you pass too close to somebody, or if you go back into the lane, you can spit up rocks on their windshield. I mean, it's terrible. And dust in their face. They can't see. There's no visibility. It's terrible. So, some people pass really good. And then there's some people that, like, not gonna lie, a couple of times I have actually almost died. There was one time driving to work. It was in a snowstorm, for God's sake. So, conditions are another thing I want to talk about, but it was in a snowstorm, for God's sake. I was driving in my Ford. So I think I was going a little under 60 because of the weather. But I was driving to work. It was dark out. This was in winter, midwinter, and I needed to be at work at 8. So it was like 7:30 on my way into work. Corner. No passing zone. Guy tries to pass me. There's a hill, doesn't see another car coming up. I'm like, this is it. This is going to be a 3-car. We're all going to die. We're all going to die, apparently, because this person couldn't drive a little bit slower in a fucking snowstorm. Are you kidding? It's dark out, nighttime, snowstorm. Snow on the road, hard snow-packed road. Fucking guy has to pass me, guy or gal, doesn't matter. Women pass all the time too. Guy has to pass me, fucking goes like right, doesn't even get all the way onto the other lane, and then is passing me, and there's a car coming. And I'm like, I slow down so that maybe they can get ahead of me if they want to, but it just, like, seconds by. Like, the other car, you could see them slowing down too, because there's a car in the fucking way. And then the car passing me speeds up, and the other car's slowing down. I'm slowing down, so I'm way back here. And then they just barely pass each other. And I'm like, I'm on my way to work. I'm hoping to go to work and not die. And then there's been other times, perfectly good conditions too, where people pass irresponsibly. Like, again, I have no problem with passing, but you have to do it. There's a right way to do it. There just is. Like, my mom and me were driving. This was when I was with my mom, and guy didn't even barely got over into the other lane before passing. Like, he could have taken our dang windshield. He could have taken our dang rear view mirror off. It's crazy. And to me, so many people on our group, we have a community kind of board thing. For our little town, we have like a small community up here before you get to town, and so many people just fucking go off on slow drivers. And I'm like, slow drivers are the problem here, and I understand the concept of people saying like, well, the slow drivers are causing more frustration, and the frustration is what was making the road rage, which is what making. But here's the fucking deal, okay? A choice is a choice. So when you look at the amount of people who have died in car accidents, the majority of them are people that were going too fast, and you can argue that it was forced by a slow driver, somebody being like, I gotta get out of the way of the slow driver for whatever reason. Like, I haven't passed since like my first year driving. I don't typically like to pass people. If somebody was going like 20 to 30 miles an hour, maybe, but even so, I'm just gonna take my time. I don't give a shit, because you know what? It's just driving. That's not worth getting home on time. Why do you have to get home on time? Why do you have to get to your job on time? You know what the fucked up thing is that everybody who's like, well, I gotta get to this on time. It's like, number one, you could leave early so that if you get into any type of incident, you can make it to work on time, right? Let's say you get a flat tire. You can change it on the side of the road. You have time. If you left early, you smack a deer. You can still, like, my brother smacked a deer. It fucking destroyed the front of his Jeep, and he was still able to drive the deer off, make it to work on time because he left early. And my other thing here, people miss work all the fucking time. So it'd be different if it was people actually cared about their jobs, but they don't. People don't fucking give a shit about their jobs. What are you talking about? People being like, oh, I gotta get my work on time. Funny, you never cared about it before. Like, the amount of... My brother, I haven't worked too many jobs. I have worked one job, and then I have worked being a janitor. I'm still a janitor. I don't think I'm ever going to leave a janitor because it's my comfort zone. I'm like, I don't know. I'm trying to write. I'm trying to be a writer. So it's kind of hard to be like, well, I'm going to get a different job. It doesn't matter. A whole different thing. But my brother has worked several jobs. My brother is somebody who he doesn't job hop, but he goes to like a place. He likes getting the experience, meeting new people, getting a new experience. He's worked at a tire shop. He's worked at a hotel. He's worked at Applebee's. He's worked at all these places, UPS, all these places, and there's always people who are late. There's always fucking people who are late. There's always people that just don't even show up. They don't even call to say that they're not going to show up. They just don't show up. So, and the thing here, the companies let them do it. The companies let these people, they don't give them a warning. They're like, okay, if you don't show up late again, if you show up late again or don't show up at all, you're fired. No, they let them go. They let them do it. They're like, well, I guess we can't just fire them. You can't? You can't just fire them. My point here with the whole driving thing is, don't put the fucking excuse that you have to be somewhere on time. You don't have to fucking be there on time. You know what? If people actually cared about their jobs, it'd be a bigger issue, but it's not, because people don't care about their jobs. People can be late and no one gives a fuck. So, don't give that excuse. If you're somebody who does care about your job, you should have the sense to leave early in case you get into other trouble, because there's other troubles other than just slow drivers. At least slow drivers are driving. There could be an accident on the road. You could get into an accident, which obviously if you get into an accident, you kind of don't want to just continue driving to work. You should probably get that checked out. But depends on how dedicated you are to your job. I've known people that have gotten to wrecks and still went to their job. We're like, I'm here, boss, in crutches and shit. Yeah, it's just crazy to me that people seem to think that slow driving is the problem. Because it's like, worst case scenario, you're trying to get to your job, right? That's, I think, the worst case scenario, because to me, the only other exception is an accident, right? Where it's an emergency, in which case you need to put your flashers on and tell everybody that you're in an emergency. Because if I was driving along in my fucking little 63 English car, I'm just like, yee, and somebody comes up with me with their flashers on and they're clearly trying to get around me, I'm pulling off the side of the road and letting them pass, just like you would an ambulance, right? It's an emergency. But I think the only other thing would be getting to your job, because that's important. That's money that's housing, that's food for your family, that's important. But the thing is that people don't care. It's like, okay, that is the one exception. And even still, even if you were somebody who does care about your job, that you want to be there on time. I lost my thought. It just went in my head and then went out the other side. Even if you were someone who did care about your job, is that really worth your life and somebody else's? No. Because again, you are driving giant bullets that are going down the highway. These things are weapons. They're weapons. Yes, they're modes of transportation, but they're easily weapons. Even my little tiny fucking 63 Hillman, if I ran somebody over with that sumbitch, I'd kill them. It's not you can't just be so lackadaisical about driving, I guess, is my message here, because it's dangerous. You can't ever be like, oh, I'm just driving down the road. Everybody drives. I drive. Everybody drives. All my friends drive. Everybody drives. So I'm just going to drive like it's just a normal thing that's happening. And I understand it's easy to get into that mindset, but you have to get out of that fucking mindset, because that is not cool. That's not acceptable way of thinking, because it's just going to be, you're going to end up killing somebody because you get so lackadaisical with it. You have to be so careful out there. And that's the thing that really sucks too, is people who are in a rush. And I see these people that pass, and clearly they're in a rush. You can tell. You can tell when it's a person who's like, oh, slow driver, okay, get around him, wait for a passing zone, okay, I'm going to pass. There's no one coming, I'm going to pass, okay, get out of my way. I'm going down the speed. Versus somebody who's just like, get the fuck out of the way! Get the fuck out of the way! Oh my god! You can tell just by the way that they fucking drive, you can tell that they're fucking mad about this. And to me, I'm just like, why are you so angry about this when you're driving a weapon? You can't have that mindset, because you're going to end up getting somebody killed. And when I see people who drive like that, who are just fucking out of their mind, it's like, I feel bad for them, because I'm like, you're going to kill yourself or get somebody else killed. That's just all there is to it. There's no, the thing that I hate about driving is that people have made their vehicles safer, so people have less responsibility. Right? It's like, oh no, these you can be looking for a new car, and they can be like, this is the safest new 2024 Sierra, and it's got all the bells and whistles, it's got all these protective things on it, smooth ride, you won't even know, you're like riding on glass. It's like, that's not a good thing. Luxury wise, yes it is, but should you really be here's the question. Should you really be able to go 80 to even 90 miles an hour and not even feel a thing? I say no. And really it comes down to just human nature, because I don't necessarily think that we should put a cap on how fast a car could go, because that somewhat harms like liberty, right? Because there's a whole thing, my whole thing is like safety over freedom. What would you rather have? Would you rather have the freedom to drive however fast you want, or the safety of keeping your people safe? I'm going freedom basically every time, but I will admit that there is some nuance to even that concept, because if we were all free, like we could, like, you could freely murder somebody and be like, well, it's my freedom, and like jail is the safety, where it's like, oh, this person is a murderer, we're putting them in jail so they don't harm other people. Technically you're suppressing their freedom to kill other people, right? So there is obviously, society requires rules and laws to keep especially its citizens safe. And mine is like, that's one where I can kind of agree that some vehicles should be capped out. I don't think your typical suburban little car should be able to go 90 miles an hour. Why does it have to go that fast? Why does it have to go that fast? Why? Why, your little soccer mom? Do you really need to go to your kid's soccer practice that fast? I don't know. It's just crazy to me. I just think that people really need to, and this is never going to happen. Unfortunately, I just don't think it's going to happen, because people are too invested in material things these days. And what I mean by that is I gotta get to the Starbucks. I gotta get to Starbucks, okay? Before the line gets too big. I gotta rush to get to Starbucks. It's like, you know what's really nice? Is when you get up in the morning and you're at your job, you know you have work this morning, but you got up early so you can make yourself a nice cup of coffee and you can enjoy it with a good book before going to work. That's what I did a lot when I was working my day job at a shipping company. I made my own coffee and I read a lot in the mornings, and I actually made breakfast, which is crazy because I don't eat breakfast. And just relax before going to work. That's what you should be doing. And even still, my job was at 8. I had to be there at 8, so I got up at 6. So I could have, not only could I have a moment to enjoy myself in the morning, wake up, make myself some coffee, but also I had another hour to get to work, which it's not even an hour down the road. A lot of times I spent 20 minutes in the parking lot of my job till it was 8 because I was that early. But that's why you go early, so that if anything happens, you're covered, you're good. There's other things you can do. People just need to get back into the mindset, I think, of enjoying life. Like when I drive my vehicles, even if it's my pickup, which I'm gonna be honest, she's not a looker, okay? I name all my vehicles. I named this vehicle Muad'Dib, after Paul Muad'Dib from Dune, because look at this. Doesn't this look like a fucking Dune truck? It looks like, I love this fucking truck. It's like it's a total fucking desert racer truck. Obviously, Polly is the name of my 63 Hillman, after Polly Perkins from Day After Tomorrow, because she's a classy girl. And this, my truck, my Ford, which you could see, she barfed up a bit of spittle here. This was when it was 40 below where I live, and my radiator exploded. But I named her Misery, because she's a big fat hog. Not really much of a looker. I mean, she's kind of nice in the way that she's a short box, single cab, which is kind of nice, but she's not a looker. I mean, look at that. she's a big old hog, so I named her Misery. And even when I'm driving in that, it's not a beautiful car. I still like to enjoy my drive. When I'm driving around, I like to enjoy my drive. I like to be driving along and, listening to tunes and looking around at the world around me, and every day more and more I see people on their phones driving, and that's scary. It's scary when you're going down the highway and the person coming at you can't even see their face because their phone's up there. It's like, what the fuck am I? Holy shit, dude. And me and my mom have talked about this because we're all, me, my mom, my dad, and even my brother a little bit has gotten into it. The virus has spread, of cool cars. You know, we're car connoisseurs. And we have a whole bunch of old cars, and my mom has talked about this where it's like, even if she's not in her old vehicle, it's still so scary driving because people are distracted driving. People are going around, they have automatics. Everyone has an automatic nowadays. And the thing about a manual, which my Hillman and my Toyota are both manuals, is that you actually are engaged with driving. And I have nothing against automatics. I'm like, I like my automatic because I can drive nice, but I'm not on my phone. I'm not a distracted driver. You know, technically technically a qualification for distracted driving is having the radio on. So technically you could say I'm kind of a rebel. No, but I'm not a distracted driver. But when you're in a manual vehicle, you actually do have to monitor your speed because depending on how fast you're going is depending on how much you need to shift. So when you're in a manual vehicle, you are actually engaged in driving. You're not just moseying along 80 miles an hour going, scroll, scroll, scroll. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. I'm texting a friend. Why? Why? Why does life have to be this way? Why does I just don't understand the idea of people being so. If you want a new vehicle, I totally get that. If if you hate older vehicles because they go slower and it gets in your way, you need to take a step back for one. I'm okay with you not, caring about older vehicles. I'm okay with that. But to me, being mad at it because it goes slower, it drives slower, it's from a different time, it's from decades ago, it drives slower. It's like, you need to take a step back and actually enjoy the drive, enjoy life, and actually see how fleeting it can be. It's crazy. These wrecks that I've seen, they're terrible. And it's like, how fast were you going? The one that always haunts me is one that was out by my highway, the one I'm talking about, that's 60 miles an hour. There's no way this wreck could have happened at 60 miles an hour, but it was two like full-sized four-door fucking pickup trucks mashed into one another. And there was nothing of the cab left. There was nothing of the front engine, the axles. Both of them were completely fucking pancaked. They had to have hit each other dead on. So either one of them or both of them were distracted driving. And the thing is, I think only one passenger survived out of all the people that were involved in this wreck. Mostly everyone died. And that was, you could see it. Like, we eventually got the news and was actually like, yeah, we saw it. And it was like, okay, yeah, people died in there. But when we were driving by it on the way to work, it's like you could see it. You didn't have to have the confirmation that people died there. There was nothing left. It was insane. It's just insane. And another thing to think about too is if cars didn't go so fast too, people wouldn't be able to escape the police so bad too, but that's kind of a whole other issue. The whole pit maneuver thing, the controversies of pit maneuvers and stuff like that. It's like, if the car wasn't going so fast, you could just corner him. I mean, why do you need to do? But that's a whole nother fucking topic. But I'm just saying, if you're out there and you drive for work every day, enjoy the drive. Like, find something interesting to put on. And to me, a lot of this doesn't apply to people who drive in the city too much. I think there's a lot of road rage in the city for different reasons, right? There's construction. There's long lines of just waiting in your car. But where I live personally, it's speed. These people are insane. I call them speed Nazis because they are that insanely intense about their fucking speeding. They've got to be going a 90,000 miles an hour, and it's like, to me there's just no excuse to be going fast. There's no excuse to be going that fast because it is dangerous any way you look at it. You can drive fast safely, but I feel like people just get so comfortable with driving that they just drive so fast and they don't even know how fast they're actually going, and that causes accidents and that causes death. So that's just kind of my video on fast and slow driving. I thought I'd bring it up because I'm getting out. I'm getting excited to go out driving in my vehicles, in my classic cars, because again, I live on a mountain. I can't drive her in the winter, unfortunately. I would if I could. I'd drive her all year if I could. She's amazing. But now that summer's finally come along, I can finally get off the mountain and go to car shows and meet cool people and look at people's cars. So I was getting excited about that, and I just thought that would be an interesting topic to talk about, because it is something that does affect me, and it is something that scares the shit out of me, honestly. And for me and for other people, it's like, again, when I see people passing me doing irresponsible passing, I'm like, you're gonna get yourself killed or kill somebody else. There's other things. There's deer, there's other people on the road, there's accidents on the road, there's debris on the road that can cause you a flat tire. If you're going really fast and get a flat tire, it can be a fucking disaster. If you freak out and don't know how to handle it, you could roll your car. You could there's so many things. And to me, I'm not saying that this is all on fast driving. If you're somebody who drives classic cars and your car can't go beyond 40 miles an hour, you should definitely pull over. But there's nowhere in the laws that say that you need to pull over if you're driving slow. It says that it's recommended, but it's not a requirement. It says it in at least Montana state law. So I'm not pulling over. There's plenty of fucking passing zones, and you can just, as far as I'm concerned, you can just kind of wait. Why can't you just be chill and wait out? Just be chill. You don't need to be on your job that quickly. Even if you are, you'll be forgiven for it, because people get forgiven for not even showing up to their jobs nowadays. It's not like, oh, I have to get to my job or I'm going to get fired. Please. And if you're meeting like a friend, tell them you're going to be late. Don't be on your phone in your car. That's a big one. Don't be on your phone in your car. As far as I'm concerned, there should be the ability to, again, this is a safety over freedom thing, but this is just kind of like, I'm throwing this out there. I don't think people should be able to be on their phones in their vehicles. I think there should be some sort of disabling device that disables your phone once you're in your vehicle, and you can connect the phone. You can connect the phone to the Bluetooth so you can actually talk to somebody if you get a phone call. But I don't think you should be able to be on social media on your phone in your car. That's just horribly irresponsible to me. But anyway, enough yapping. I've kind of said my piece. There is both sides of the argument, but to me, there is no excuse for driving fast because it's so dangerous. Like, if driving fast wasn't so dangerous, I could be like, yeah, I understand it. Slow drivers suck, you get stuck behind them and it's all, oh my God, but fast driving kills, like, when was the last time somebody ever died because of a slow driver, unless it was because somebody was pushed or was made the choice to pass. I'm not even going to say pushed, because at the end of the day, if that time I was going to work and somebody passed me and there was an oncoming car, if that person had gotten hit and killed, it was still their choice to pass. Right? Like, you could argue all day about, like, well, you're getting pushed to pass because of slow driving. No, you're not. You're making a choice. Okay? You're making a choice. I get mad at people when people are I get mad at people for being in the grocery store and they're using their card and their card's not working. I'm like, you motherfucker, if you just carried cash. I know I sound like an absolute fucking boomer, but it's just the way I was raised. But I carry cash on me. I don't ever use a card. I don't even have a credit card. I'm working on getting a credit card so I can build credit. But I've just been using cash for so long. And I'm just like, I could just pay for that right now and we could be done with it. Instead, we're waiting hours in fucking line. And to me, I'm like, it doesn't bother me. Right? Where I'm like, okay, I'll just sit here. I talk to myself while I'm in line, or talk to somebody next to me and make friends with the person behind me, because it's like, why the fuck not? We're waiting here. But it does infuriate me because I can just pay for cash and that would be faster. Again, same mentality of fast drivers, right? If you were going faster, we wouldn't even be here. But here's the thing. If I made a choice to shoot that person in the head because they were taking too much time with their card, that would be my choice. I would have murdered somebody. Just because I would say, well, they were taking too long with their card, Your Honor. It was pissing me off because they were going too slow and I needed to get out of the grocery store so I could get home. I was pushed to kill them. It's like, no, it's still a fucking choice. If you are behind a slow driver, you can't say, oh, all these slow drivers are forcing me to pass. You passed. It's your choice. You can't say that. It just either chill out. And some people, they drive up on me really fast, and once they realize I'm going slow, they ease off, and then they just keep in pace with me. And it's like, that's cool. Great, you don't have to. And I still get over for them, like, here's a passing zone coming up, drive over to the shoulder of the road, see if they want to pass. That's okay. But yeah, it's just, at the end of the day, it is your choice. So that's kind of where I'm at with the whole fast driving situation. Whew, okay. Now that I've got that out of my system, I have an interesting couple updates. So I hope you enjoyed the back room. All right. The background. I spent a lot of money yesterday. But I got this background set up and I think looks a lot better. This looks a lot cooler than just my literal boarded up wall that I had with like papers scattered randomly about. I actually have some accents here. These things I got from the thrift store and the candles and the books, and I just hope that it looks like, a little better, a little bit more like, an actual space. And my other thing is I've started doing a new thing where I collect jewelry and jewels and anything really of interest. It doesn't have to be jewelry, but mostly jewelry because it's shiny. So I've been putting it in my chest, and I now have this giant collection of jewels. And I think that's really funny because, right, my whole brand is that I'm a dragon, and I am, in that way, very much attached to shiny things. It is very beautiful. So every week, I'm going to try and post on the Dragon's Tongue every week, because it causes me nothing to make these videos, because I don't edit them or anything. So every week, I'm going to get new jewels, and I'm going to add them to my collection. So you're going to get to watch my fucking treasure grow, my treasure chest. So for this time, I was at I went to the thrift store because I had to get like curtains and stuff. And I picked up 3 items. I try and get at least 3 items. So my first item is this. I don't even know what this really is. This is like a necklace kind of thing. But it's got like 3 rings on it almost here. This is the way it's supposed to be. This is the empty chain. And then it's got like 3 rings here of plastic. This is plastic shit. But like, yeah, look at that. Doesn't that look nice? Ooh, looks nice. It's gonna be nice for my collection. And it's got like these little, it's got little clear beads in here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like clear little beads. And then these plastic little shiny pieces. Those are nice. If you look really close, I don't think it shows up on camera, but if you look really close, they actually do shine. And this one, this last one actually has the bigger ones on it. Look at those. Oh yeah, look at that. Pretty cool. So that's 1, and then 2, gold chain. Very large gold chain. This is not actual gold. I don't even think this is plated gold because it doesn't feel hefty enough. But this is pretty cool. This is just nice. This is just nice, shiny. This is just nice, shiny stuff. Look at that. Oh yeah, that looks good. Oh, look at that. Oh, looks good. It's just nice, shiny chain. And the thing about this that's really cool is that you can just put this around your neck. Because it's so long that you can just put it around your neck. So that's really nice. It's going to be Again, nice for my collection. Nice, just gold chain. Can't beat just gold chain, even if it's not really gold. And this was interesting. This is my last piece. A necklace that's got a big diamond piece on it. So this one actually is kind of cool too, because like I said, I got these from the thrift store. I got my gems from other places too, but this one is from the thrift store, and it still has its packaging on it. And it comes with earrings, which the earrings are kind of nice too. I don't know if you can see that. They're kind of like little things. It's not focusing, but yeah, this is really nice. This nice little these gemstones here. See them sparkling. Kind of nice. And this giant gem in the middle here is just like a hard plastic piece. But it is nice. I like the black. I like the black gems. I have a couple of those in my collection so far, of just like this black gem. And like, isn't that just pretty? Isn't that just pretty? Like, it just is pretty. You know, like, look at that. And of course the earrings are just a bonus, right? Because I have a ton of earrings in my collection too, of just like shiny, beautiful earrings. So those are my new collections for this week. Okay, so that was my video for Saturday. I hope to see you again next Saturday. Hopefully I have more treasure to share with you and more shit to talk about. This has been The Dragon's Tongue. My name is Raven Nagel. Buy my book, by the way. Please. And next time you're out driving, enjoy the drive. Okay? Enjoy the drive. Don't get carried away. Realize that life is short and can be snatched away at any second. It is just, life is fleeting sometimes. Okay? If next time you're behind a slow driver, don't get mad. Just pass respectively, or perspective, but just pass nice, or maybe keep in pace with them. Maybe realize, like, hey, this is a person that's going slow. That's okay. It's okay to go slow. It's okay to go slow. You don't need to be rushing. Anytime. You don't need to be rushing. Communism, the Reds. Anyway, you don't need to be going fast. It doesn't need to be go, go, go. Your whole life is go, go, go. What about slow, slow, slow? Huh? Anyway, this has been Dragon's Tongue. Peace.